The and underemployment struggle for military couples is real. Military life makes it challenging for spouses to find employment or to even want to maintain employment. Let's be real, when your spouse is gone all of the time, it is challenging to have a job and to maintain a family life solo. Thank you for watching. I am Lacey Langford, a financial coach, veteran, and military spouse. Basically, military and money is my jam. If you want to learn more about personal finance in the military, be sure to subscribe and to give this video a thumbs up. The roller coaster of having and not having two incomes, or having a job where you're not earning to your fullest potential, makes money management very difficult, to say the least. I'm going to share with you what exactly one income living is, why it would be wise to live off of one income when you're married in the military, and I'm going to give you some tips on how to go about living off of that one income. I know what it's like to be one half of a military couple. It is a unique dynamic that you can't fully appreciate until you have lived it yourself. You're following your service member's career from duty station to duty station. Your identity and earning potential can quickly get wrapped up in your service member's career. The frequent moves and deployments make it difficult to depend on a military spouse's income, because you never know how long you'll have it for, or if you'll have a second income at all at your new duty station. If you don't prepare for military life and your money, it can mess with your mind and your money. So what does living off of one income even mean? Living off of one income means you only use one income to pay all of your bills, even when a military spouse is earning a second income. For example, if you're an E6 and married and your spouse has a job making $50,000 a year, you're only going to be living off of that E6 pay. But the full picture of one income living includes using the service members or that E6 pay to save at least 10 to 15% of your income plus all of your living expenses. I have added in savings because if you lose or don't have a second income, you should still put money aside for emergencies and to be able to pay for your expenses at any given month. Plus, you should be saving for your future. It may seem like a lot to do with one income. I'll get into what you're going to use that second income for in a moment. So why is it important to live off of one income? First off, many military families already are living off of one income. That's because a lot of families choose for one parent to stay at home. Deployments, the moving, whatever their reasons are, a lot of people are already doing it. Other times, and underemployment play a major role in why it's essential to live off of a single salary. The roller coaster of having or not having a second income is challenging to your quality of life and to your mental health. Even if your spouse makes more money than you, you should still live off the service member's income. Don't kid yourself. You know, at some point you'll have to PCS or deployment orders will drop. It could come at any time, both of which can cause a loss of employment for the military spouse, especially if they're making more money than you. So I want to give you some reasons why living off of one income is wise in military life. The first one is that and underemployment. The number one reason to live off of one income is to protect you against and underemployment when it comes to military life. If your ability to make your car payment or your mortgage or any other debt payment depends on your second income, what's going to happen when you get orders? There are a few scenarios that normally play out. I hear them a lot as a financial coach. One, you're unemployed, which means you have no second income to make those payments. That means that you're going to have a negative impact on your finances by not being able to pay that bill because you were counting on the second income for it. Another thing that could happen is underemployment means you're employed, but you're doing a job you're either overqualified for or you're going to be underpaid for it, which means you don't have the entire amount to cover that payment because you were depending on that second income, but you moved and now your spouse is making less money. Fun fact, on-time payments make up 35% of your credit score. So if you aren't paying the whole bill on time, you are damaging your credit. And in the military, not paying your bills could mean your security officer comes calling and lets you know your security clearance is in jeopardy. And that can make or break your military career, which will have a negative financial impact. Another scenario, which would be in a perfect world, your spouse would find a job paying the same or more starting immediately at your new duty location. I'd like to say this is the likely scenario, but we all know that that would be a lie. More often than not, military spouses struggle for months and months to find a job in general, let alone one that pays the same or more money that they were making before. We all know too many mil spouses with an MBA that are currently babysitters. In some cases where a spouse can't find a job at the new duty location, you may choose to live separately to keep that second income. But this option has also increased expenses because you now have two households to pay for, not just one. And I'd also like to say here that this rarely happens, but we all know that that is not the case. Geo Bachelor isn't a thing for nothing. Another reason to live off of one income is to soup up your savings. Adjusting your life to only spending on one income allows you to build up your savings super fast. A savings surplus is not only good for financial emergencies, your savings will be a buffer in the times that you don't have a second income coming in, which can be very handy. Building your savings also means saving for retirement with your thrift savings plan or TSP, or using individual retirement accounts for you and your spouse. IRAs are so important to military spouses saving for retirement. You can learn more about traditional and Roth TSP in this video right here. Getting out of debt is another reason to live off of one income. By living off of one paycheck, you're freeing up the additional income to pay down any debt that you have. Reducing and eliminating debt will help you gain financial independence, but it also is an insurance policy for financial problems when they come up. When you don't have debt, it makes it easier to navigate and pivot when there's unexpected expenses. No debt also helps improve your credit score and makes losing a second income due to a PCS or deployment a less financially damning situation. Living off of one income reduces stress is another reason. Losing a second income you're dependent on will not only be a financial burden, it will be a stressor in every part of your life. It seeps into everything, to include your marriage, which just only amplifies the stress. Maintaining your quality of life with a single salary will help you build your savings to give you financial freedom, which is amazing and something that you always want to be striving for. Living off of one income gives you the chance to increase your savings to a level you can use to improve your quality of life. That is another reason. The income can be used for travel, gifts, and experiences that you want in life, not just those things. So how can a military couple live off of one paycheck? People often want to know if this is a possibility, and the answer is yes. It's possible to live off of one income. It just takes a little planning for both sets of the income. You can't just plan for the one, you have to plan for both of them. So the steps to living off of one income, the first step is to set financial goals. Start with goal setting. What do you want? What are you working towards? Are you trying to pay down debt or save more in your TSP? Setting financial goals helps you direct what you'll do with the second income, which is so important for that money to have direction. Know what you're trying to achieve in the long and the short term. So that is another important thing. It's not just about the here and now, it's about the future. Having set goals also keeps you and your spouse on the same page. Communication is key when it comes to money. And when life gets crazy and things go off the rails, which, spoiler alert, they will at some point, your goals will help you get back on track faster. Next, you want to develop a budget. A budget is key to having a clear picture of the money coming in and the money going out so that you can keep your expenses under the service member's monthly income. That is important. If you don't have a firm understanding of what's coming in and what's going out, it will be difficult to manage and budget both of those incomes. A budget also helps keep you on pace to meet those goals that you have laid out. When military couples budget, it can get confusing. I know this. Sometimes you have two incomes. Sometimes you have that one income. Then there are times that you know you're going to either gain or lose an income in the near term. and you need to start planning your budget for that upcoming change. I recommend using some type of budgeting software or system to manage the planning swings that you're going to have as a military couple. Two sources that I like for budgeting and money management are, and there are a lot of them, but I'm just going to name two here. One is Cube and the other is Tiller Money. Cube is a digital envelope system for money management. A lot of people use the old school physical envelope system. This is a great resource to maintain a budget for couples when you're living off of one income. Tiller Money automates your budget with spreadsheets and pulls in your daily financial account information so that you're making current and informed decisions to manage your money. Both are really helpful when two people are budgeting. I'm going to put links to both of them in the description below. I recommend using a budgeting method because when you're trying to live off that one income, you need two different plans for the money you have coming in and the money you have going out. The main spending plan is your primary budget for that service member's income. In it include what's affordable on the military service member's pay. A good example would be savings, retirement savings, food, rent, monthly utilities, and car payments. Do not forget to include all of your debt payments like credit cards and loans. If you don't have enough money from the service member's income to pay all of your bills once you've looked at them all, then you need to start cutting some costs. So that's really important, is to be able to put a roof over your head, food on the table, keep your car, all of those essentials with the military service members' money. The ability to pay all of your bills with one income allows you to adjust if you lose your spouse's income. Things go a lot smoother if you have that plan. The second budget is your reserve spending plan. The second plan is the gravy budget. It's the plan for the military spouse's income when you have that second income. It's all the extras that you want for a better quality of life. Examples would be to save more money, to pay down debt, to go on vacation, to get a better cell phone or a better cell phone plan, to have more experiences that you want. Under no circumstances should a car payment, bill, or loan be dependent on that second income. Because if you PCS and lose your job, you won't be able to pay your bills on time. So that's so important. Finally, you should start forward-thinking employment to be proactive instead of reactive. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but if you're a military spouse, and underemployment is the reality of your world. That is the way the cookie crumbles. But that doesn't mean that you are powerless. I can't stress that enough. You are not powerless taking control of your income and your career. But you have to give it thought and lots of planning to maintain having a second paycheck. Think outside the box to control your employment. Consider finding a job with a major company that has the ability to transfer all over the country, all over the world. Ask your employer about telecommuting. What about entrepreneurship? Build a career that's PCS proof. Look for virtual jobs where you can work while your kids are outside on the playground. Taking control of your employment helps see you through those crazy transitions that are going to happen. You're only limited in this by your creativity and the hustle that you want to put into it. Two resources that I love that you can use for employment and mentorship are Veterati. It's a digital mentorship program to help you develop your career. I mentor on Veterati. I'm going to put a link to that in the description. Can't stress that that is a wonderful resource. Hiring Our Heroes is a program through the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Foundation to connect military spouses and veterans with employment. Another great resource that I'll put in the description below. A special note before I wrap this up is that living off of one income also includes special pay like jump and dive pay. If you depend on your special pay, like a dive pay or jump pay, to make a car payment, for example, that's a huge mistake. And here's why it's a bad idea. Let's say you're on jump status and you get injured and break your leg and you can't jump. You're going to be taken off of jump status, so you're going to lose that jump pay. And now you're not going to have the ability to make your car payment. So treat special pay as an additional income and manage it accordingly. Living off of one income is a smart financial decision for military couples because of the get up and go lifestyle that you have. Keeping your monthly expenses limited to one income, even when you have two, gives you control and consistency of your money. And using your second income to build your savings and get out of debt will provide you with the financial freedom and quality of life that you need and want. If you want more information on how to live off of one income and the financial benefits that can come come from it, get the link to my article on the subject, which is more in depth, in the description below. I've also included links to find and follow me on social media in the description below. I'm Lacey. Thank you for watching, subscribing, and for the thumbs up. I will see you in the next video.